Hey everybody, I'm John Hardison, an Assistant Dean at Ivester Early College, the North Campus.
Hi, I'm Professor Ansley Gaston, and I'm also a writing tutor for Lanier Tech.
And the both of us today want to share with you a very cool interactive debate or discussion structure called, drumroll, the pressure cooker. Now the pressure cooker begins with two concentric circles in which all the students are seated at desks or chairs that have numbers already on them, but there is one seat in the middle, and it's a high swivel chair that can go all the way around and look at every single student. When we begin, there's nobody seated in the center seat in the center of those concentric circles. Everybody is seated in those concentric circles, and they all have a number, and then we randomly use a spinner to choose who goes to that particular seat. Once that person sits down in the center of those concentric circles, he or she has 90 seconds to turn and to tell everybody his or her actual thesis statement. And then
we have 3 rounds where we randomly choose with a random generator like this to pick someone to challenge the person in the middle's direct thesis statement. So the person in the middle will turn to that person that is chosen, and the person that was chosen gets to go after their thesis. They can ask questions about it. They can be like a rebuttal against it. They can do whatever they want just going against that person's thesis.
And it's pretty intense, isn't it?
Yes.
Kids will definitely come in there a little bit scared, nervous, but hopefully all teachers, and I know we did this, we had let them prepare beforehand. Mm-hmm. They were made aware of what kind of structure we were going to do. They came in with their thesis statements and their resources and all of their counter arguments and their support. And so to add to the intensity, we actually used a set of 10 numbers, and so we took 10 sheets of paper, put a number on each outside of those sheets of paper, and on the board behind us we had 1, 2, all the way to 10. Now behind those sheets it might say something like, 20-second, 30-second karaoke to a Justin Bieber song, or it might say 10 seconds, act like a T-Rex, or it could say, hey, you got lucky and the professors have to do a karaoke. It was just a little bit of something we used to funify the activity. So if the person who was called to the center does not give a thesis statement, or if a person who is chosen in the concentric circles cannot give a verbal challenge to that particular person's thesis statement, then we'll say, hey, no problem. What number do you want to choose? And then they would choose a number. We would pick the sheet off and we would say what they've earned as a payoff. Again, it's just a fun section that you may or may not want to do, but there's no doubt that the questions, the thesis statements, the randomness of it all makes it very, very intense. Now, Professor Ansley Gaston, teaching English 1101 at Lanier Technical College, she was so awesome, and she came in here and she tried this for the first time. Miss Professor Gaston, can you kind of tell us about your experiences with leading this structure?
Yeah, so it was actually very fun, a very good experience for me. I've never done something like this in the classroom before. One student actually came afterwards and told me that they were super nervous to start. They don't really like public speaking that much, but she said that she actually really enjoyed it. She liked speaking publicly to her classmates, and she liked challenging other people's arguments. And I think it was really helpful for the students to not only help with their writing, but also learn more about the other people's writings and figure out different ways to defend their own thesis and different ways for people to rebuttal against them. So I think it was a very, very good experience for them and for me.
And there you have it, everybody. So if you're interested, just watch the rest of this video. You'll see actual live classroom experiences. And I promise you, the pressure cooker, it is a heated debate structure, but it's one in which your students and your professors will love. See ya.
Well, I would say that when athletes go off to like far away games and stuff, they get back super late. So if they have a little bit of extra like sleep time at night and can get up a little bit later in the morning, they can be more recovered and they won't be tired all the time.
Give me a hand on that. That's your counter.
Last one, 14.
What about like the parents' schedule? If it like affects their pickup time?
I would say they can get like rides home with like their friends or something, or they can take the bus. I mean, there's other ways to get home besides your parents.
And then now you bring it out.
I think it was a great learning opportunity for people to see other people's views and different ways of thinking about situations. It was also a really good chance for people to understand critical review and civil discourse, being able to speak freely about different ideas. And then it was also really cool to see how different questions made people think about different ways to respond and other positions that people might have on these real-world issues.
It definitely was a little bit nerve-wracking, but it was fun too. I think it's kind of scary because you're worried about people disagreeing with you or coming off as silly or something along those lines. But that's kind of the point of the exercise in a way. Getting all these questions, it helps you get different perspectives on your thesis and what you're arguing, and that helps you build your essay. If there was a question you couldn't answer, it made you go back and do more research to make sure that you really understood what you were arguing.